Now this is the first ride we had on the lower forks on the 750 Ninja. And to be honest, it was very predictable, just like the other bikes that we've lowered the forks on. And my gut impression is that it's working out to my advantage, and I'll explain along in the video some of the impressions that I got. I went on some pretty twisty roads and some high-speed sweepers just to find out what the good side and the bad side is, and it looks like, in my case, the good outweighs the bad. Yet another day that the weatherman says it's going to rain very soon. The last couple of days we have beat the system, but I know we don't beat it every day. But we still, my goal as always is to try to get a ride every day. I know a few of my friends don't get to ride every day or don't get to ride as often as they'd like, but basically it's the same thing, the passion we all share. We all want to ride every possible day we can, at least I do, and I know most of my friends do. So, and on the days you can't, you can always share the ride with us, share the video, if it's especially good if you're at work and somebody's paying you and you can watch windy videos. That works pretty good. Now today's the best of all worlds. Our farm is producing every day. We've taken buckets of stuff in. We're making pickles, pickling vegetables, eating vegetables every day, trying to stay healthy, trying to extend our good luck into the future, feeding the fish, feeding the barnyard animals, and just, God, it's just been a great summer. And I hope you've enjoyed sharing it with us. But we got to get a bike ready and we got to get out on the open road. Okay boys, the menu today is zucchini pancakes or fish food. How should I take orders, for zucchini pancakes or for fish food? Now, as I'm pre-flighting the bike, I never realized the black clouds were coming up overhead. One of our goals today is we're going to do a test ride and see how we like our lowered forks. And then of course at some point in the future, go halfway, see if we like it better, try to find that point at which it'll be the best it can be. Now keep in mind, most of the rides we ride on are really twisty, really bumpy, and sometimes very slippery. So we have a unique way I like to tune the bikes, and usually that means 28 pounds of air in the tires, relatively soft suspension, and these are the things that work in the environment where I ride. Now if you were riding on a racetrack, you'd probably want more air pressure, stiffer shocks and forks, but right now I try to get the bike so it suits me and it suits the area of the country where I do most of my riding. It's really nice having on the brand new set. We have a brand new back tire. Front one's probably got 1,000 or so miles on it, but it still has that feeling of a bike that has brand new tires. And they are Pirelli Sport Demons, which I've had several different brands and types of tire. The Pirelli Sport Demons and this bike are a good combination. And we got 36,000 miles, and as we always, early in the morning, the church bells are ringing. I know it's hard to believe, but it's raining. In the middle of a day, there's no rain predicted. I didn't even get out on the open road yet, and it's raining. What the heck's going on here? Just getting ready to do farm work, and it starts raining, so I guess we're going to wait this out, go have a couple of cups of coffee. Every day it seems like we have this very unpredictable weather. Now, what happens whenever I get the bike wet, of course, I dry it off with a dry microfiber, but I already just cleaned the bike up. But you can see one of the advantages of doing it that way. Look at all the nice wax on it. So it's a matter of drying it up. It only takes about 2 minutes. So not only did the bike get waxed today, it got washed, it got waxed, it got hot waxed, I undercoated it. I got it. It's going to be the cleanest bike on the road today. Final thing, the radar detector, and we're just going to have another cup of coffee and see if, God forbid, the rain should stop. Unpredictable weather. This is a world you never can tell if it's going to rain or not rain, or unbelievable. Well, one thing, at least I don't have to water the garden. It's raining pretty good out there. Oh my God. Time for another cup of coffee. So just to recap what we've been trying to do, we did try lowering, and we liked the way it worked. The R1 forks again. We have the MT-09 forks lowered. the maximum amount that they've machined into the forks. So we're going to try again. The next test on that is to go halfway. And we know, for just repeating this, not possible to do the GS without disrupting the connection between them, because these forks they have air in them. So that might be something to think of if there's a way to do it without disrupting that. I didn't know that yet. And the next one on our test is going to be, of course, the 650. And little by little by little, we're gathering data. I do like the way the bikes feel when they turn in quickly. But again, you never know. You got to put a lot of miles on a bike and then make an educated decision based on where you ride and how bumpy the roads are. And if you're dealing with, I would say, if you're in a world where there's a lot of big sweepers and that's your thing, maybe you wouldn't even know the difference. But in a tight, twisty, like a motard racetrack, you'll know the difference. And the good news, as always, is if you don't like it, you can always put it right back. So I have to report on the new coffee maker. The new coffee maker works great. We're very happy with it. And we didn't get a lot of zucchinis today, but we did get a lot of tomatoes. So the farm is producing. And the only problem, I see the driveway is even still wet. That means the roads are going to be wet for part. The back roads in the shade are going to be wet for most of this ride. 36,000 miles. It still runs great. What a great bike. I have really enjoyed this bike like you can't imagine. Thank you, Luciano. And I got two of them too. I got a spare bike just in case. Now we want to test that front end out mainly and have another day of enjoying the nice sounds coming out of that Muzzy muffler. Thank you, Luciano, again. Taken this picture before. You can see there's a train pulling up in the station here. This is Route 46, and that's Devil's Tower right there. Believe it or not, from every angle, I pass this twice a day. Every time I pass this, I'm tempted to stop and photograph it. It looks just like Devil's Tower, and I've been to Devil's Tower. Look at the trains are pulling in. That's pretty cool. Devil's Tower of New Jersey. Pretty cool. I wonder if they're going to take that all down. See, they've been chewing away at it for a while. It looks like they're going to leave part of it as like a, well, here's the train station back here. That's a unique thing. Well, we're very fortunate today, almost no traffic, and it has just been a spectacular day to do our little test. Now, as we're riding, I see some really dark clouds forming again. We had surprise rain this morning. We're going to get some surprise rain this afternoon. The clouds are coming. Well, I'm thinking the lowered forks always do the same thing on all the bikes we've done it to, the R1 and the MT-09. It always makes that quick turn in, which I like. It also does something really nice on this bike in particular, because it has a long travel fork. Under hard acceleration, you have more weight on the front end, so it doesn't come up as high. You don't get that big bounce in between gears. A nice little side benefit. I'm not sure that after 500 miles I'll change it back, but in the meantime, I'm learning it's like on-the-job training. The back roads are almost life after people today. During the week, these roads are great. Weekends, not so much. About midway through the ride, even the back roads, the ones that are in the shade, dried up a little bit. Just makes for a little nicer riding, not having to deal with the wet. Some of the old antique barns in this area are really cool. These look really old. You wonder if there's anything still inside of them besides dead bodies. I don't know. Pretty cool. This is such a nice area. A lot of times when you park the bike to take a picture, you can hear the birds chirping and stuff. It's beautiful. And what makes some of these rides very special to me, and it's because I'm able to ride early in the day, and I'm able to ride, of course, during the week where there's very low traffic. Wanting to take a back road out to that, I couldn't find the road though, but I have seen people, well, maybe they take a boat out there. There's a little island out there. Be a great place to shoot some pictures probably, if I ever find the road. Now, I have tried taking some really back roads that were really bumpy and gritty, and I found like getting the bike dirty, it just wasn't worth it. I just love the fact you don't have a lot of traffic here, and it's a great day, great place to test things. Like when you want to test these lowered forks, it's a great day to do it. It's our first ride, our first day on testing these forks.
So far so good. It looks like all the bikes respond exactly the same. Kind of predictable, in fact.
Now combine this information with the fact that both Luciano and I have several bikes with lowering links, and I have found nothing bad happens. And I think that's a myth. Because this bike is registered in New Jersey with historic plates, it's more than 25 years old, so I qualify for historic plates. It means I never have to pay for another registration ever.
I always like to look at some of the beautiful homes. Some of the landscaping in this area is just unbelievable. Unfortunately, for a lot of this ride, the roads are still pretty good. And especially in the shady spots, they're really a mess. But it's still better than a day on Rikers Island. Beautiful landscaping everywhere. What a beautiful area this is. I never get sick of riding this area.
So I got my exercise for the day. The bike got the exercise. Then the roads there still were some wet roads that were unexpected there toward the end of the ride. And it did get cloudy at the end of the ride, but it was a great day. So day one ends, we have our lowered forks now. We've got about 115 miles of data in the database. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like I know what I'm doing anyway. But we're going to ride with this, I'm thinking a couple more days, then decide again if we want to lower it halfway or the full way. But it does have a nice, by having a little more weight on the front end, this bike gets light on the hard acceleration, first and second gear. This seems to help it stay planted on the hard acceleration and under some really tight cornering, which we had today. But it's a subjective thing. A lot of people like that front end coming up. I don't. Not Mr. Wheelie here. Our new Sport Demon tires are really, after a couple hundred miles, the bike is so much better than when the tires get squared off. It's always hard to convince people to spend the money and keep fresh tires on a bike. Even me, but I know it's worth it. So I count the day as a winning combination. We got the bike washed in the morning. We had a nice ride, and we're going to go see if the bride has tomato sauce available yet. Those are all our tomatoes from the garden?
Already roasted.
All right, let me take a little taste. Let's see what this tastes like. Fresh tomatoes from our garden. Mmm, it's fine.
Oh boy, hey, we had some clouds. In fact, there are still some clouds up there. I don't know. It was clouding up toward the end of the ride. I was expecting the worst, but it turned out okay.
So if you're new to our channel, hey, thank you for joining us on the ride. And we try to share motorcycle adventures, information, restorations, rides, things we experiment with that work, some of them that don't work even. And we enjoy our little collection of motorcycles and enjoy sharing it with the people that watch us on YouTube. So thank you for joining us. We have a nice little collection of friends that all seem to share the passion we have for the motorcycles. We still love our two-strokes. We have a lot of projects planned for the near future. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.